it's me, Courageous Casey, coming at you with another video. Please like, subscribe if you're following me and my journey of breast cancer and hacking my habits. This video is kind of a combo of both. So I took a video over a couple different days and slicing it together, trying something new and different. And I wanted to start off by telling you that I'm going to tell you more about my chemo teach session that you'll hear about in a little bit. But I think it's because it's the end of the first week of the new year, I got to dive into the New Year's intention. So I mentioned in my last video, check it out right here, that I am hacking my habits. And so I'm really using what's called the Hawthorne effect, which is like when you're watched, you are more likely to be productive or present or attentive to that which you are doing. So I mentioned in my last video, go check it out, that I'm working on cutting back on Netflix binging or any kind of streaming binging. And I want to say that I have learned some good things this week, two main things. One of the things I was really wanting to avoid is watching show after show after show into the wee hours of the night. To me, that's past 10 o'clock, 11, 12, 1 o'clock, and just really get to bed by 10 p.m. So I've been 100% successful at that, which I'm really excited about. What I did also notice, I mentioned last time, is that I would only watch shows when I walk on the treadmill, and that's not realistic, but that's like a good start. So maybe watching that first show, but you know, there's kind of this time in the evening for me, like 5 to 7 or 8, that's like I want a little self-care. My brain doesn't want to be working, but I'm usually kind of alone, or if my daughter's here, she's doing homework in her room or hanging out in her room on her phone. You know how teenagers are. And so I'm gonna give myself permission to watch 1 or 2 shows, but really also continue to work on more self-care things, maybe doing my reading then or some journaling. So tweaking it, and I think that's a really important thing, and I hope that this is a takeaway, is that sometimes we set intentions and we think it needs to be exactly like this because we're setting them from a mindset of looking at the ideal, not being in our daily life with the things that go on. And I think it's important to really touch base with what's actually really happening. So the next thing I wanted to share with you is that I mentioned also in my last video that I'd be sharing my words for the year. So this year, my word was gratitude. I shouldn't say this year. Last year, in 2022, my word was gratitude. This year in 2023, I've got 3 words. So I've got my little whiteboard here. So I've got 3 words. My first one is my inner child, or my little Casey, because I'm really working on continuing to heal her. Her word is faith. Really, when I get into that place of feeling emotions that are deep or painful, which will probably most likely come up more on this cancer journey, being in faith. The ADHD Casey in me is really needing to work on follow through. I am such a creative person. I love starting things, projects. I just get so excited about things, but I don't always follow through. I really do follow through, but on the things that are super important, but I want to follow through more consistently on everything. So, and then Courageous Casey, that is me, that needs to focus. Super excited about this year because I'm starting it off very intentionally and knowing exactly what I want to focus on. So I'm working on some visioning of what my daily, weekly, monthly, and quarterly life will look like with hacking it and my new goals. So I've been one of those people who kind of forgets to put in time for laundry into my schedule or my goals, which is kind of funny. I just get into the habit of doing daily. You can see here I started doing my daily, and I'll tell you more about that later, from my sister's encouragement. And so there's just so many things that I don't put on the schedule because I just don't think of it, because with ADHD, it's kind of like out of sight, out of mind. So putting things out where I can see them. So right now, this is just a little bit of brain dumping, and I'm gonna clean it up and work on that right now. 30 degrees. There's my little D-man Denver, my dog nephew. Here's our place, and wait, hold on. So I don't know if you can see it. Those little dots, they look closer, but those are people going up and down the hill and sledding down. We're on the edge of this amazing little park area, but people come out here who don't even live around here and slide down our hill. One of these days I'm gonna do it with them. All right, get out, even if it's cold. Lots of love. Dog knocked the phone. It's Captain America. Hi, Denver, say hi. You ready to go? Let's go. This little guy, he can pull. He's a strong one. It's the first Friday in the new year. It's the middle of the day. I have a chemo teach and education appointment coming up to teach me about chemo in another hour or so. And I just woke up this morning just not feeling like I wanted to do anything. I think that the fact that chemo may be becoming very real is hitting me. Look at that stretch. So I'll be sharing more information soon, but yeah, it's just, I don't know, feeling like one of those days where I just want to lay around and do nothing. And I'm getting better about giving myself permission to do that, because oftentimes I tend to work on a Saturday and Sunday. I like to have my own schedule, so I'm giving myself a break and just hanging out with this little guy and resting. After my chemo teach session or education session, I spent about 45-50 minutes with a clinical pharmacist through the UC Health Breast Cancer Center. Such amazing people there. And basically it's like a what to expect, right? When you're having a child, a lot of people read that, what to expect when you're expecting. This is like what to expect when you're gonna have chemotherapy. So I'm really grateful that I'm only gonna have 4 doses. They're gonna be spread out 3 weeks apart, so it'll be about a 3-month time period. And we basically went over like what the day looks like of chemo. I'm gonna be doing a cold cap, so wait for more videos to share that with you, what that looks like. So hopefully I don't lose all my hair. We talked about neuropathy with one of the treatments, putting cold mitts on my hands and feet. So I've already got my electric blanket ready, because with the cold cap and cold hands and feet, I'm assuming I'm just gonna be freezing for a while. So probably be drinking lots of hot tea. And I'll probably be there about 6 hours between the 2 medications of chemo, the pre and post cap time. You have to have it on before, half an hour before, and then I think they said an hour afterwards, just so the body can cool down. So we haven't got that scheduled yet, but it's most likely gonna be next week. And then we talked about all the side effects that could happen. I mentioned the neuropathy. There could be loss of appetite, nausea, diarrhea, fatigue, and there's probably 1 or 2 more, I can't remember at this moment, but just all the different symptoms. I also met with a dietitian to talk about that. So boy, it's a lot to process and take in. And you know, I'm really embracing that I'm young. I'm 50 and I want to live another 50 years, and I think this is going to be a part of that that's going to give me more time to be cancer free in the future. So I'm really diving in to this chemo and looking for the good, looking for how it can be beneficial, but also what are the deeper lessons that are going to come from this. You know, boundaries. I've talked about having boundaries for myself, you know, empathy, compassion for myself, for others, and really self-care. Self-care is essentially the biggest thing. So it's been quite a week. The first week of January has been full of so much, and again, I'm really grateful for all the opportunities I have. So I would love to hear from you. Like, what do you do when you're cold? How do you stay warm? What do you do when you have those feelings that are like really negative or painful, how do you deal with them? That's something I'm really working on, journaling those feelings and feeling my feelings. This is something we talk a lot about in recovery, is feeling your feelings, because it's so easy to numb them and not feel them. And we need to feel them, otherwise they get repressed or they get stuffed or they come out as anger on other people. And I'm really working on evolving my life, living at a higher level of consciousness. ADHD, one of my favorite ways to say it is attention dialed to a higher dimension. And I think that's so true for me, that I feel like I want to continue to evolve to a higher dimension. That means being more peaceful, being more compassionate, being more kind, being more loving. So thank you for joining me on this journey. Please, again, like, subscribe, check it out. I hope that there's some benefit in here. Leave a comment below. Let me know what connected with you and what you're working on. What are you hacking this new year, and how are you dealing with challenges that show up? So hope you have a wonderful moment. Peace and love always. Casey.